Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio. We are brought to you by championnews.net, your choice for the conservative voice. Our founder, Jack Roser, and myself have Representative Morrison with us. And Tom, thank you for joining us today. Illinois has so many problems, and our voters need to get out and get active and get aware of some of these issues. Jack, I think this is great what you're doing with your organizations as far as the teachers to get their money back.
Well, it's all explained well in here. People are fooling around with the pension scam all over the country. They ought to read the book written by Zettler here on Illinois, and they'd find out in chapter detail, very
and the teachers
nicely told.
The teachers, especially the younger ones, but the older ones too. I mean, I talk to some really good teachers who are very, very concerned about the future, because if we don't fundamentally change how our pensions are structured, there isn't going to be money to fund education going into the future. There isn't going to be money to take care of those with developmental disabilities. There isn't going to be money to make sure that our streets are safe, that our infrastructure is sound. This problem is so massive, and a tax increase isn't going to fix it. I mean, there are some...
Well, there was a progressive tax increase, too.
Right. We were going to talk about that. There's actually an effort underway, it's very quiet right now, to institute a progressive income tax for Illinois. Now, they would need a constitutional amendment to do that. In our Constitution, it states that we have a flat income tax. That's actually been an advantage for Illinois compared to some of our surrounding states. I mean, with all that's wrong with Illinois, that was one thing that we had right, that we had a fairly decent income tax policy. But the spending that has been out of control for at least the last 10 years
crazy
has forced Illinois to raise taxes on its people, which puts us at a strategic disadvantage compared to states around us. And even with the 2011 income tax increase, which is supposed to be temporary.
The 67% in the middle of the night.
That's right. It's supposed to be temporary. No one believes that it was, and now they're saying, oh, gee, we're going to have to remove the temporary aspect of it. We're going to have to make it permanent.
People and businesses are leaving Illinois, so they don't have to pay this. A rich person or somebody running a big company, I was in a man's, I won't use his name, I was in a man's very successful guy, moved his company out of here. He's got a 1 million square foot warehouse. He's got a 500,000 foot office. He's got a whole bunch of other things around the state. He got himself out of Illinois because the taxes here are confiscatory, especially in Cook County, where you only have one assessor, and you got to make your peace with that Democrat, or they'll make you regret being in. That's why my business got moved out of Cook County.
And what does that mean for the individual listener? Is that if you have fewer taxpayers, guess who the burden falls on?
On you. There's going to be more tax.
It falls on the business. Business pay real estate taxes 2.5 times what the homeowners do. The homeowners are supposed to be low, but this crummy system run by the Democrats has run up home stuff in Cook County way high, and it's a big burden. Just think what happens to businesses that are paying 2.5 times more, and they are really forced to go to the Democrats and make a deal. That's where the Democrats get their political power.
Now, Representative Morrison, we're going to sign off here, but I remember when you were running, didn't you say we have to build a fence around Illinois to keep people in?
We may have to do that. I visited, I visited the old Berlin Wall, and at times, you know, when the wall went up, there was a flight. What do they call it? Having a freeze here, but there was a flight of capital and also of the intellectual talent, because those with great initiative and brain power, mind power, wanted to escape the tyranny.
Well, I have hope for Illinois with representatives like Tom Morrison. Thank you for joining us, and you join us next Sunday at 8 a.m. at Champion News Talk Radio. We're your choice for the conservative voice. We'll see you next Sunday.